Greetings, fellow Gorehounds, and welcome back to a Blood Splattered vlog. I'm the Horror Guru.
And I'm Count Jackula.
And today we're going to talk about The Last House, a Netflix original science fiction horror thriller from director Louis Leterrier, whose name I probably mispronounced, and if so, I apologize. I'm actually not entirely sure how to pronounce his name, but I do know he is French, so probably Leterrier, maybe?
Leterrier? Yeah, probably Leterrier.
That would probably make more sense than Leterrier, which kind of makes him sound like a terrier or something.
Or Lux Interior.
Lux
Leterrier.
He's a filmmaker I'm generally pretty mixed on. He's mostly known for action movies like the Transporter films. He did the most recent Fast and the Furious film, and those kind of awful Clash of the Titans movies.
Oh, yeah.
From the early 2010s, as well as the one MCU Hulk movie with Edward Norton, which was a pretty good movie, but I wouldn't say it was one of the better MCU films.
No, it wasn't.
So I'm usually pretty mixed on this guy, but he's generally known for making kind of style over substance action movies. So a kind of stripped down survival horror movie like this is way out of his wheelhouse. And I honestly think the movie benefits because of that.
Yeah, I agree. I think that he actually did a really good job with the survival horror.
100%. This movie is basically about a family that gets stuck inside a house after a mysterious rain starts basically locking everyone inside. It's like the water itself forms barriers around everyone's houses and locks people inside their houses and they cannot escape. And this barrier lasts for like years. The movie takes place over the course of like 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
Of these people trapped inside this house and learning to survive inside the house, but also trying to figure out a way to escape and like re-enter the outside world. But unfortunately for them, there is something outside the houses that they have a hard time seeing and is very elusive, but seems to be nefarious, seems to be monstrous.
Yeah,
dare I say,
kill anyone who's actually caught outside.
And dare I say, Lovecraftian. Now, that's as much as I could say about that until we get to the spoilers.
We get to the spoilers, yeah.
The good and bad of this movie. The good of this movie is I honestly feel like the first 2/3 of this movie work really well.
Yeah, the first 2/3 of the movie are excellent.
Absolutely. The family trapped inside the house, them learning to survive, the father being an engineer and coming up with all these weird gadgets to try to create food.
Yeah, watching this family come together, fracture, then come together again over the course of several years as they learn to live with this new environment is actually really good. It's actually very strong.
And it's actually really well paced too, even though the movie takes place over 5 years and it takes a while in the actual runtime to get to the more horror aspects of the story. Yeah. Those 5 years is edited at such a brisk pace. It goes by pretty quickly.
Yeah.
All of that stuff works really well because of the strength of the actors. The script, I think, is a little iffy, and I'll talk about why in a minute. But the actors give such good performances.
Yeah.
And they make you care so much about this family that you can't help but root for them over the course of this movie. But I will say this. This movie is one of the movies that I feel like suffers a little bit from the Netflix second screen writing thing, where they want to make sure at no point will you be lost if you're looking away from the screen. So it involves the characters saying a lot of stuff out loud that probably would have been better left as subtext.
Yeah. I agree.
That happens quite a lot in the movie. It also leads to the one element of the movie I think should have been removed above all else, and that's the opening and closing voiceovers.
Yes, the opening and closing voiceover bring the movie down.
I do not like the opening and closing voiceovers. I feel like they're entirely unnecessary, and they give this movie almost this fairy tale vibe that doesn't match the actual tone of the movie.
No, not all.
Because the actual movie is a survival horror movie with a little bit of Lovecraft thrown in.
Yeah.
A little bit of that cosmic horror kind of energy. But the opening and closing voiceovers almost make it sound like, let me tell you at the time that, we fought a dragon. It's got that kind of fairy tale kind of feel to it.
Yeah, and it
storybook.
And it shifts the tone of the movie in this way that feels unnatural.
Now, that is something I will say. I actually feel pretty strongly about a lot of Louis Leterrier movies. I do feel like he sometimes has a tone problem with his movies where the tones don't necessarily always gel the way they should. I feel like that's actually very apparent in this movie. These problems take a movie that probably would have been about like a 4 out of 5 stars and kind of knock it down to a 3-star movie for me.
Yeah,
You know, like a 7 out of 10, a 6 out of 10, somewhere in that territory. It's an enjoyable movie. The cast is great. The survival stuff is great. And I actually do like most of the last act, but those last 5 minutes, man.
Yeah. The last few minutes of the movie change how you feel about the movie radically.
Yes, it reminds me a lot of Steven Spielberg's War of the Worlds. And if you've seen that movie, you probably understand what I'm talking about, where suddenly there's a huge tone shift in the last 5 minutes. And I don't just mean like, you know, the virus part, the virus killing the aliens. That's in the actual book. No, I mean the part where like the main character's son inexplicably survives at the end so they could have their storybook happy ending at the end of that movie.
Yeah.
That felt completely tonally disconnected from the rest of that movie. Something similar happens in this movie that I feel like definitely knocked the movie down a little bit. It felt like a studio note or a test screening.
Yeah.
It felt like a change made in like a test screening. Like there's a different ending to this movie somewhere.
Yeah, especially since all the things that didn't work about the movie is in voiceover.
Yes.
So you feel like they put the voiceover in to satisfy a studio note. But the problem is it makes the movie kind of suck.
Which, to be honest, it might be a studio note thing, too, because the second screen thing is definitely a studio note thing.
Yeah.
100%. So it might be part and parcel with the whole Netflix of it all. That being said, I had a good time with this movie overall, and I think most of you probably will. Be warned, though, that I do think the ending is not very good compared to the rest of the movie.
Yes. I would say it's about 2.5 hour movie. It is about 2 hours and 25 minutes worth of a great movie.
I will say this, though. Before those 5 minutes, the movie kind of goes like full deep rising, and I really like
that was a great
part of the movie
sequence. Like it's one of those weird things where it's like the climax isn't the problem.
Yes.
You know, the climax isn't the problem. The problem is the epilogue.
Yes. The resolution and epilogue combined.
Yeah.
Kind of really drag the movie down a lot. It makes the movie drown in itself.
Yeah, because you're like, what kind of story did you think you were telling, man?
Yeah, what is this? And I will say how I think this movie should have ended when we get to the spoiler section, because I can see it in my head. I have vision.
Me too.
I have vision. So the movie's currently available on Netflix. Go check it out if anything we've said so far has enticed you. And with that said, let us move on to the spoilers for The Last House.
Okay, so we said the last 5 minutes bite.
Yeah.
They bite the big one.
Yep.
Because, okay, so this entire time, the thing outside is basically like little Cthulhu monsters.
Yeah, they're basically deep ones.
Yeah, they're like these really weird mutant life forms.
They're fish people. They have octopus faces.
Yeah.
You know, they kind of have like almost like stingray-like bodies, but they like stand upright like people too. So it's a really cool design.
Yeah. The creature looks great.
I love the monster in this. The monster is not the problem with this movie.
Oh, no. The problem is that near the climax of the movie, they spare one of them. They spare one of the monsters, realizing that the monster is the only thing that'll let them escape the house.
Yep.
Because they have the magic power to control water, which is what's locking them in.
Pretty much.
And so they spare its life. It opens the door. They run out and escape. Okay, so far so good. No problem. They go into the outside world and they're like, oh man, everything's changed because it's been 5 years since humans have stepped outside.
Everything's overgrown. The animals have retaken over the earth.
Yeah, Seattle is where the movie is set. Seattle is like entirely underwater.
Oh yeah, oceans have clearly risen in the time they were in there.
Yeah, the voiceover starts and says, we were given another chance.
Yeah, it's like everyone remembers when the rain stopped.
Everyone remembers when the rain stopped. We've been given another chance. We can learn to cohabitate. You're like, What?
Yeah, and we basically find out, okay, it's all told to us in voiceover, but what's implied in the voiceover is that these characters survive, but they're not the only survivors. There are other survivors out there that they rebuild humanity with, and all the monsters went back into the sea and went away after letting them go. They didn't just let this family go for sparing this one monster. They spared all of humanity because this one family spared this one monster. And I gotta be honest, I don't buy it.
No, I didn't buy it for a fucking hot second. I was like, bullshit.
Even with the setup that like, oh, like one of the monsters outside looked like it was kind of friendly. Even with that, I do not buy that the entire race would let our entire race go.
Yeah, no kidding.
After doing everything they did earlier in the movie to take over the planet.
Yeah, like you can buy that one group of monsters being like, okay, you can live.
Yeah.
You can buy that, but anything on a greater scale than that, you're like, you've got to be kidding me.
Absolutely. Like, you could sit here and you can nitpick the logistics of, like, the water mechanics and the magic and how do the monsters know which houses to lock people in but not know the people are in the house.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff you can nitpick about this movie. That stuff I could hand wave. This ending I could not.
No.
This ending to me made no goddamn sense because I'm just like, why? Because humans spared one of them? Okay, that brings into question, why did they do this in the first place?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you know,
exactly.
I thought we were going to get either like some sort of like, oh, well, humans were destroying the planet, so they stopped them from destroying the planet.
Well, I thought where we were going to fucking go is once they hit the ocean, there's just like in the distance, Relay has risen. There's great fucking Cthulhu. And it's just sort of like, yep, the stars were right. Fucking Cthulhu rose. This is the world now.
See, that would have been the ending I would have wanted.
Yeah, it was the ending I was expecting, actually.
Like them getting outside the house somehow, even if it was sparing the monster and that one monster letting them go.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
And then like going out to the beach, looking out to the ocean, and then seeing the big monster.
Yeah.
Looming.
Yeah. Fucking give it a little bit of that mist ending, you know? Where it's just this giant thing. You're like, well, I don't know what we were expecting.
Like, pull the camera back, and as you pull back, you see more and more monsters and stuff like that. Pull out, and then credits, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
They got out, but
but the world is utterly different. Yeah.
Because if you're going to evoke the H.P. Lovecraft of it all by having these kind of deep ones monsters, you need to have like a kind of H.P. Lovecraft ending, right?
Yeah, even if the family lives.
Because this happy ending, it didn't work.
No.
It didn't work for me.
It didn't work at all.
It dragged the movie down from like a 4-star to a 3-star. And the voiceovers are so clunky. Oh my God, I did not need those voiceovers explaining shit to me.
No.
And I'm glad that for most of the movie, there is no voiceovers.
Yeah, for the most of the movie, the voiceover is absent.
It's just the prologue and epilogue.
Which is what makes me think it was like, well, okay, you got to give this a happy ending. Oh, fuck you.
Especially since the person doing the voiceovers is a grown-up version of a character that we never see fully grown up.
Yeah.
So that actor is nowhere actually in the movie. It's just a different disembodied voice that we only connect to her because it's the only person it could be.
Yes. Yes.
You could have removed those, let the beginning play out more naturally, because like the whole like guy coming home from fishing and the rain coming and getting inside and all that stuff, that could have played without any voiceover explaining anything.
Yeah, because like, you know, you don't need someone telling you that like something bad's about to happen because the movie makes it clear something bad's about to happen.
And then the only thing that you would truly need to change is that fucking ending, because oh my God, I do not buy they let entirety of humanity go for that.
Hell no.
This is like some M. Night Shyamalan shitting the bed in the last act shit.
Yes.
And it feels like they just wanted a happy ending because like people wouldn't like a downer ending. But I'm like, come on, man, you're already making like a sci-fi horror thriller, you know?
Yeah.
You're throwing in like weird Cthulhu monsters. We can have a kind of like either downer or bittersweet ending.
Yeah, a downer or even ambiguous one.
An ambiguous one, like them getting out, seeing the fucking giant monster in the distance.
Yeah.
Like they could still survive in that world.
But it's gonna surviving, but it's gonna be real weird.
But instead of it being a total victory, it'd be like, okay, well now we're entering the next level, you know, of this like life video game.
Which is which I felt was the natural progression.
100%. Because now I'm sitting here trying to figure out what the goal of the monsters were in the first place.
If
all it took to get them to let people go is for someone to not kill one. humanity wasn't initially killing them. They just showed up and started like eating people that were outside.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, well, what do they want? You know?
And it tells you how bad the ending is that we're spending a majority of this vlog talking about it and not all the cool stuff that happened
not all the
before it.
good stuff that's in the movie, but because like it's so aggravating.
Because like right before that, we had this really cool climactic final sequence where one of the monsters realizes they're in the house. Again, I'm not entirely sure how the monsters know which houses to contain, but don't know the people.
Yeah,
in them.
exactly.
That feels weird to me. Then again, they may come after this house because one of them did escape briefly. So maybe it was one of those, someone breached containment. We got to deal with this. The monster invades the house, but before it invades the house, it floods the house, making it a natural habitat to it because it comes from the ocean. So it fills with ocean water. So they're trapped inside this house, but they're also underwater and having to like gasp for air and shit and fucking like navigate it while also pulling their like mousetrap contraption to fucking take down the fucking monster. And it's a really cool sequence. It felt a lot like Deep Rising. Then you get to that point where they got the thing trapped, they've contained it, and they can't get through the door because it's still being sealed tight by the rain.
Yeah.
And so they need the monster to release the spell, so to speak. And so they let the monster go, and it releases a spell. And I was like, okay, I'm not sure how I feel about that, but they did set up that one of the monsters might be more friendly.
Might be a little friendlier
so,
than the others.
Okay.
Yeah.
But then when they get outside and all the monsters let them go, and then they escape to the sea, and then we get that voiceover.
Yeah, voiceover comes in. Here comes the shit.
And I'm just like, no, the longer this ending goes, the more irritated I'm getting.
Yeah.
This is not it. This ain't it. This ain't how this movie should end. You know, I'm not saying you need to go full Mist and make it super fucking dark.
To make it super depressing. It just couldn't be this positive.
Exactly.
Are you kidding me?
I do love the monster design though. The fucking monsters look great.
Look at the movie is amazing.
They are CGI most of the time.
Of course,
there's a couple times where they're like holding what looked like a prop tentacle or whatever, but it's pretty solid CGI, especially for like essentially a made for streaming movie.
Yeah.
It's pretty solid CGI. And the whole rain concept, even though I have some questions about like the monster motivations and like why monsters could do some things but not other things, I did love the execution of the rain containing them throughout the movie.
Yeah.
Like they would like shatter glass and it would just seal it back up, but it's still broken, but the rain's like glue keeping it together. And I love that. I love that so much. That stuff was really cool. So yeah, it is a Louis Leterrier film in the end. It is a mixed bag that I overall enjoyed, but definitely could have been better. There are some improvements that could have been made to even make the movie as is better than it is.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, those improvements weren't made. With that said, my fellow Gorehounds, y'all know me. I'm the Horror Guru. You can find me at the Horror Guru on various social media platforms, but these days I primarily use Blue Sky, so follow me on there. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and don't forget to ring that notification bell so you're notified of our videos immediately upon their upload. And if you'd like to help out either of us more directly, be sure to check out our Patreon pages. And remember, if you decide to go the Patreon route, even $1 a month can go a long way, but we will certainly accept more. And with that said, my fellow Gorehounds, if you made it this far into the movie, then I want you to comment below, and be sure to comment below using the hashtag #TheRainPeople. Use the hashtag #TheRainPeople because for a majority of this movie, you know there are creatures outside.
Yeah.
You get silhouettes of them, but because the people don't get a good look at them, they kind of like draw these like little rain people
call them
figures.
The rain people, you know.
And I actually thought those little drawings that the daughter was making of like the rain people were kind of cool.
Worked. Yeah.
They're pretty awesome. So hashtag #TheRainPeople, work that into your comments below, and peace out, my fellow Gorehounds. And we'll catch y'all later.